And welcome back, everybody. We are back for a CBC cast. And this week, we actually got topics. Last week, if we could have done a show, it would have been iffy, to say the least. We had like one topic, which we've just kind of rolled into this one as well. So it'll be a show, but we're going to do the best to provide you with the, I don't know, best show we possibly can. As always, today we're going to talk about a little bit about Mephisto. We're going to talk about DCU projects and the Punisher joining Spider-Man. On top of this, for members, we're going to talk about the future of Ironheart and Superman's box office disaster or not. I don't know what to call it. We'll talk about that for members. In this podcast, though, we're going to have a good show. Now, since he's not here, Ricardo did review Ironheart for us. Hopefully you guys watched that. I know it triggered some people because opinions. Opinions.
If you want to see the worst review ever on the internet, go watch that.
It's like, how did they get a 14?
Oh man, it's something. But when Ricardo's back on, we'll have him talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about Ironheart when we talk about Mephisto.
I think he said he's on the way. I'm not sure.
Oh, if he drops in, that'll be good. Maybe he'll join in for the topic. So without further ado, as always, of course, I am your host. I am here most weeks hosting this show. So if you guys would like to follow me, check out the link tree over here and find me wherever. I know a lot of people are shocked that in other places I will respond in a more timely manner than not, especially YouTube, because YouTube replying, who knows? Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the comment you reply to isn't there anymore, even though it was fine. It's filtered. Who knows? YouTube magic, you know. So
crazy.
Keep up with that. I post occasionally things on the community tab. Speaking of which, you guys are seeing community tab things pop up for Mitch.
Hi. You can find me on the community tab, which I think this goes out on Saturdays, doesn't it?
Saturdays or Sundays, depending on the processing time.
So there should be the most recent Pro and New for Down to Down Season 1. And then on the Mitch 692 channel, the last arc for Season 1 will be up on Monday.
There we go. So you guys keep up with that. And of course, we are joined, as always, by Tristan.
Hey guys, I actually got a video out. Just thoughts on. I joined a playtest for a new action game. I think it's Might Rhea. My thoughts are on there. It's relatively short, like 6 minutes long, because the playtest wasn't long. It was just a demo for it. It's like, if you can complete, it's like 40 minutes long. Wasn't so, like, I was hoping that it was just for like a really alpha build, because some of the stuff was like rough to where like some of the effects break mid battle and stuff like that.
Wow.
And this is supposed to come out, I think, the end of this year, because they got a publisher. I think it was.
They'll see.
it's from 505
Fiscal year. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so from
it's a bit like Chrono Odyssey, where it's like we've had years, and
I believe that's scheduled on the tab or should go up.
I think it went live already.
I don't know what days it is anymore, so things just go up at night.
It should be live right now, because I think if I remember correctly, I got a notification for it like a couple hours ago.
Perfect. And joining us is resident MCU shill. So no longer are we Mickey Mouse, our Minnie Mouse Clubhouse, or anything. Oh god, because the resident shill is here.
Oh man,
can't believe it.
I can't believe it took one review to make me a shill. I did so many things, and it took one review. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's the name of the game. If like the overall review score is like anywhere between like an 80 to an 85, you're a shill, because it has to be a 90 or above.
You guys realize what's funny about his review is he's literally right there with the Rotten Tomatoes as well, because it has like an 88 on RT. So it's like Ricardo was on the money with his review.
Yeah, I did the review before the review bombs. I didn't say people was hating on it. I was like, look, this is a good show. I like it. I said straight up, I don't know how other people feel about it, but I like it. But,
it's a good show.
I mean, hey, I'm going to just have that on the shirt, put, MCU show, put the little, that guy there. Okay.
So,
Do it.
You know what we're actually going to do? We're just going to jump into our first topic then, because it actually focuses around the events of Ironheart. So Ironheart is out. They dropped 3 episodes on the first day, 3 episodes a week later. I will preface this by saying my wife likes to watch these shows and watch them with me. She just started a new job, and unfortunately, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, she works late at night. So we haven't gotten to watch it yet. I know everything about it because everybody's talked about it. Unfortunately, haven't gotten to see it. So it's one of those things where I can see everybody talking about it, and I myself not having seen it. Of course, the internet exploded with all Mephisto's in this. You know, they build him up. Okay, cool. So obviously I know the context of it. I'm gonna have watched it by the time we do the podcast, more than likely next week, because she has a couple of days off now coming up. So it's one of those things where I'm looking at the discourse for the series, but I'm seeing, weirdly enough, the discourse doesn't seem to be about the quality of the show. The discourse seems to be central to the character and their messaging, and everybody's praising things like Mephisto, the villain of the series, and things like that. So I'm like,
how dare she say anything against Tony Stark?
Yeah,
how dare she point out that Tony Stark could only be Iron Man because he has how dare
I think that's the crux of the whole argument, technically, because they bring it up that Tony, he's a billionaire, but how he got over his I guess the things that he has to do is that he was in a cave, built what he needed to build, and he didn't have the best of the best, even though if you take that context, they did give him the material that he needed, which was from his own tech. So technically he still had the best of the best. Maybe, not top of the line, but he was taking stuff out from his weapons to make the arc reactor and the armor. Here, Riri is mad because she can't get the correct tools and materials because she's not really rich and is technically not thinking outside the box, which in context, if you want to go there, a lot of people will be not thinking outside the box at first until they actually do.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like she personally knows Tony Stark. She doesn't know how he used that money, she did like certain stuff. Like, I mean, hey, she built an armor in the kitchen.
But there is also like the argument, like you think about Tony Stark, he's super intelligent, right? But the money and his family and where he is affords him to build the armor top of the line, top quality, the moment he gets out of the Middle East, right? Where if he was in
$40 billion lab in his garage.
Right. If he was in Riri's situation, he could probably and would still do it. It would take him longer, and the Iron Man armors would not look as good as pristine as the first one, which I've seen her armor progression, obviously, and what she does, and you look at Wakanda Forever. So I kind of get like the trajectory of what they're going for. I get the message, but fundamentally, I don't think people understood what she was saying.
It's She-Hulk all over again, where She-Hulk she dares to have that moment of like, I'm always angry. Like
it's a weird thing where we're characters who technically are who are legacy characters who technically aren't allowed to complain, just like the original heroes. If they were to complain about something, they complain about it, and people go, well, that's familiar. People do it all the time, but a lot of legacy characters, if they technically aren't allowed that leeway because they have to be perfect out the gate. Not saying that Riri's perfect, because if you've read comics about her, even her origin, she was far from perfect. And here they're trying to reestablish who she is as a character, because if you want to take her at a first arc, Riri's not a real likable character with how Bendis tried to strike twice with lightning.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Ricardo, what's your overall feelings on what you saw her character, and of course Mephisto then being, the thing?
Because I'm not a big fan of her version of the comics, so I enjoyed how she was utilized in the show. Because I mentioned in my review what I liked what this show did. Like, this show, like, it raised the stakes each part, right? So it was like, she going to school. You think she's just gonna do like simple fun. Then it gets worse. She gets more desperate. She gets more PTSD. She's getting she's worrying about her family. Imagine getting kicked out back into the hood. Where's she gonna get money? the only dumb thing I said, I was like, man, she don't have Shuri on the phone. I was like, you can't go back. I was like, you couldn't go back to Wakanda.
I was gonna say, remember they established in multiple cities around the U.S. there's the Wakandan outreach programs, right? It's like you think they'd have like ambassadors there. She's like, "Hey, Shuri, help!" But
like maybe she wasn't looking for a handout, or she probably already felt the way when they took the armor back. Like, there's a lot of situations, but I did like that. She was willing to do what she felt like she was right. And then until like the very end, I was like, "Ah, man!" I couldn't believe they did it. That was the thing. I couldn't believe the whole Mephisto thing. It was just it caught me incredibly off guard. But that makes you just want you to see more. If it was done bad and he still did the same thing, I would have been like, oh, okay. I was like, this is just Secret Invasion.
Oh.
Yeah, because you think with the Mephisto thing, any Iron Man character hasn't like had like a run-in with him. If you're going by comics, it's usually like no. From what I looked up before, he was mostly fighting oddly the Hulk, Ghost Rider, Silver Surfer, and like one of the characters.
Ghost Rider counts. Mephisto adjacent. I'm certain there's been a point where Stark has had a thing with at least one of the not devil demons in Marvel. Certain of it.
Right, it makes you wonder, right? Because now we have to see how the MCU utilizes how do you break out of Mephisto's contract? Because we've never seen how that plays out. Because if this has already happened, then Johnny Blaze is already a thing. Maybe they might do Danny Cash. Like we don't know, but we need to see how it's possible to read.
It's with how established. Yeah, well, with how they change it, but with how I guess Marvel Comics does it, Mephisto usually wins in the end, depending on the context of how he has his deals. So that could be something. Just take the girl back. Yeah, it'd probably be interesting how they do it in the MCU if they want to do the loophole deals with these Faustian deals that they usually do, especially with the comics. Because from what I'm trying to remember, he usually wins in the end in a certain context of the deal. So
he always ends up winning. Yeah, it's always like there's always a little thing in that contract that's like, aha.
I say if they, because I hope there's a continuation, because God knows when they'd ever fit the story into anything else. But with the whole Natalie's no longer really a hologram bit at the end, like surely it's got to do something with that.
That was the craziest like twist. I had this theory of like, because like you said, because with how they did the whole timeline thing, I have this theory like, look, she comes back, and for what we don't see, because you know how the MCU likes to move on while we're like living life. For all we know, everybody probably resents Riri. It's like how you're able to bring her back. So she's probably down in a more deeper hole, because maybe we might see her like, oh, I lost all my friends. It's like, well, how did I bring her back? She'll be like, I remember dying. She'll probably get nightmares of Mephisto.
I honestly you mentioned all that because that's one of the things that one of my friends sent me a clip of. I was like, oh, I kind of suspected this was going to happen when I saw a couple of the highlights, from the series. And to me, I feel like that this character would have either continued on in the canceled Strange Academy or Terror Inc., right?
Like, Strange Academy, 100%.
It seems like it fits. Yeah. Like, and also, like, that's not it. Like, Multiverse of Madness also sets up Strange Academy as well. So you're kind of like, you could see where they were going, but if they're going to end up there now,
I'd say I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
How Ricardo was saying, like, it reminds me more of how we made the deal. It reminds me, very oddly enough, of the Champions run where Miles made the deal to bring back Kamala and with I think he was still totally awesome Hulk, in that they were the only two alive after that mishap. Oddly enough, I think it was the Middle East, and they're both alive. And Mephisto comes to Miles saying that I know what you asked. I can bring them back. I can bring, Kamala back. I can bring all the ones that died back. And Miles goes, yeah, he makes the deal, but there was a catch, is that even though he goes to help them, what happens is that the people that they did save, he wasn't there, and they ended up dying in their place. So, like you said, bringing back that character could have some ramifications to other people possibly getting in trouble. So, yeah, we'll see.
I just want a season 2.
Well, with how it is, maybe, but for the internet, if the internet's to go by, it's crap for some reason. So,
yeah. We all know the reason why. We all know that reason why.
From everything I've seen, the budget was between 100 and 150 million. We know they're trying to cost reduce. So sadly, it's like, and the way Marvel, like in the last week, we got the reports that Marvel, or not Marvel intentionally, but Disney, they tossed out Ironheart and Elio because DEI. And they're like, oh, we don't need to market these, so just toss them out. I think that kind of shows you what's going to happen. It's like, it's just.
I think you got an unfortunate two-pronged attack on this one. So obviously, you have the whole DEI clampdown from the US government because old white boomers, but at the same time, you have the Marvel scrambling to get back to a certain point. So it's just sorry, Ironheart. Doesn't matter, but that's what I'm expecting anyway. Hopefully, they actually go back to it and we get something.
Hopefully,
I'm not expecting it, to be honest.
So I guess most people here then understand the concept and everything that happens. So stay tuned. When there's more, we'll talk about it more. And of course, a little bit more in the bonus topic. But let's get on to our second topic here, where we're going to talk about the future of the DC universe. Because, of course, James Gunn is making the rounds. Superman is right around the corner. And he's been talking about projects and the status of them. So the Waller project, it's not dead. It's not being reworked. It's just happening so slow that they don't have a singular update. The Authority, he's not sure. There's been no movement since the announcement of that project. And a couple other projects have stalled while they're working on other ones, but he wouldn't reveal what ones. So...
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about one of
the secret projects that he had already did.
And that too. That's honestly what I want to also talk about. A project that will change the course of film history forever, guys.
Yeah, there was also a small interview when he was doing the rounds when people were asking, will Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman ever meet again? And he's all, of course, yeah, but not in the next movie.
So what stupid question to ask?
Yeah.
You have one.
That's just what it was, because he's just like, yeah, they will meet. Just they won't meet in the next movie. If that's what you're trying to ask.
So I know why you'd obviously ask that question, because you want the engagement. But come on, ask something decent.
Well, I would, props to the people asking for status updates on the other shows and projects. But we know that DC and WB specifically they're again, as they have been for the last 15 years, in turmoil and uncertainty. There's going to be splits now happening with the TV division and the film/streaming division. They're consolidating. They're selling off assets. James Gunn still said, hey, video games, they're going to be a major part of the DC universe going forward.
Sure.
Are they?
Sure.
No more.
Everyone believed that from the second you first said it. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, James, sure.
I don't know. Everything they're saying, I get it. We're still in the start. For all intensive purposes, the first project is Superman. Creature Commandos doesn't count, okay? People didn't watch that. Superman is the first one, then Peacemaker, then Supergirl and Lanterns, right? And then Clayface. There's an odd lineup of projects, and after Clayface, there's nothing in development. So Clayface is the next film that starts production, but we've heard nothing about any other production starting. On top of this, Gunn debunked that Teen Titans is shooting this year, or even casting. So what happens? For projects after Clayface, we should be hearing stuff now, but we're not. That's a little concerning to me. Like I don't know. I feel weird because they keep saying one thing, but evidently, if you look at their lineup, you're like, well, that's a completely different thing. You know,
So it feels like they're doing two different things. You have we're going to announce a ton of stuff to keep you like tide people over for a while, and then but we're going to act like no, treat it as one movie at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry about all this. Like this is Superman now, Supergirl now, but it's like here's all the stuff for the shareholders publicly. Like this is how we're actually doing it. But
yeah,
it's
Yeah,
confusing.
because I just like to assume that Gunn's approach, especially like I like to assume that he's probably like, oh, here's Superman, and if there's future projects down the line, it's probably from a character in the movie. Like whoever makes the most noise. I feel like, for example, who's making the most noise right now? Hawk Girl, right? I feel like I hear like way more Hawk Girl in Superman compared to like the Green Lantern, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, maybe we might get a Hawk Girl TV show and or movie. Like he probably just gonna go off for that. Like Lobo's gonna be a given. Like he's not gonna get a non-solo thing, you know. So I feel like maybe that's what he's trying to do.
I mean, like this last week, he's also been hyping up Wonder Woman. Somebody asked him about the second Wonder Woman, not technically second, but I guess, you know, Diana's twin sister, and he was like,
"Which mean, who is the other Wonder Woman?"
Well, Queen Hippolyta at one point took on the mantle as well. It was just briefly. They've had like 5 or 6 different Wonder Women.
I'll be honest. I thought you were talking about actors, then, so that was my joke.
Okay. Okay.
I was like, it's only been Linda Carter. What are you talking about?
Well, there was Adrian Palicki in the deleted pilot, you know. So
fair.
But I get what he's saying, and like if he's already teasing, and he said you're gonna see Wonder Woman's twin sister in the DCU down the road. She's planned for something, which means Diana's coming. I think a Wonder Woman film is a given. I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of their next projects that they announce, because he's been talking up that character a lot more, which, you know, fine. I mean, Wonder Woman's a hit. The first one was, the second one wasn't, but that's a whole problem and thing there. So I feel like you kind of need a Wonder Woman to get the Trinity going, and making that the next big budget after Supergirl feels right to me, especially since they pivoted from the Wonder Woman video game and the Paradise Lost TV series. They said that hasn't moved since the announcement. There's not even a writer, so that's not happening. Let's be clear about that. That's not going to happen.
Part of me feels like Gunn's realized how long things apart from movies and shows take to make.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, actually, trying to line what's up is going to be impossible, because if you wanted a game, you had to have started that game 7 years ago. And
See, it's 7 years. But yeah, it got canceled, so yeah, you ain't gonna get that.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's they're in a strange, interesting spot right now, and I think they need to actually start clearing stuff up. But
and I mean, one of the ones you're talking about was I think it's Nubia. I think that's what
Nubia. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then there's the one they
the Spanish one.
The
Brazilian
Yara.
one.
The Brazilian one
she's
they
so
want to
good.
about.
Love that. Absolutely love her version of Wonder Woman. Just bring them all in. Bring in like Wonder Girl as well. Just bring in the whole idea. Like, why not? You know,
knowing Gunn, he'll probably do that, because it seems like this world is. Well, he says this Superman is what, like 3 years in being Superman.
Yeah.
But it seems like the world around him has established things. So I would assume if this, with how huge the DCU is with characters, I wouldn't be surprised if we were to get like Diana, Nubia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And it's also like the fact that they straight up out the gate said, oh yeah, when we get to our Batman, he already has the entire Bat family and his teenage son. You're like, whoa, bro, Batman's been active for like, what, 20 years now at this point? Like, yeah.
Well, at least 13 years, right? He's got a teenage boy.
Talia took advantage on night 1 of him being Batman. She was like, hey, sniff this. What?
And people won't find any weird or traumatizing news on what? It's part of the comics. I was like,
yep.
It's like, at least the father and the son had traumatizing experiences that you guys aren't talking about or acknowledging.
Yep, that's how it'll go. So I guess we'll know more. San Diego Comic-Con, we're definitely going to find out a couple more things because they are going to be there.
Has that not happened yet?
No, it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. I with the whole, like, you know, DC's only talking about Peacemaker and Marvel's not showing up, I just completely forgot about what it is.
Yep. Don't worry,
And
Disney's showing up and they're bringing Tron.
Yeah, and
Wow.
if anything, Gunn would probably want to talk about what is it? DC's version of Supergirl, which is not Marvel's rivals version of Squirrel Girl, design and all. So yeah,
Yeah.
she's different because she's Supergirl and she has a rabbit.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Supergirl has a rabbit now.
An alternate version of her that she goes to.
Oh
is built like Squirrel Girl from Rivals.
Yeah,
it's like so. It's
is the rabbit pink by chance, or like a purple?
No, it's white. It has a cape like all the other things, but she's built like
the cape go like that.
Yeah, it's flying and it keeps bellowing in the wind. It's like the most blatant, not blatant. We're gonna take your idea and put it on one of our own female characters, where she's like she's built like Squirrel Girl.
Which character did they slap it on?
Marvel Rivals Squirrel Girl. Her anatomy was taken and put into a current Supergirl comic where she went to an alternate universe and saw an alternate universe of her.
Yes.
It's like she has the rabbit, the rabbit bug teeth too. And she's just built like her. So
I remember seeing that. Like, she's thick. They knew what they were doing. Yeah. They knew.
Yeah, so if anything, Gunn would probably put her in one of his shows or something. So just to get some hype.
That would honestly make a whole lot of sense. So stay tuned, everybody, and when we know more, we'll be back after San Diego. But our final topic, Mr. Frank, what do we do? Unloads bullets into Scorpion, and Peter is traumatized for life. So, Frank Castle.
Like, if it's anything, because like I don't know what they could do with Frank for Spider-Man. So like unless like he accidentally shoots Peter, that's like the only relevant thing.
I mean, people, you know, they did cast a black woman, and everyone's like, "It's Miles, his mum." Like, okay,
yeah,
they're doing that bit. Like, sure, she could well be, but
I mean, technically, yeah, because like Rio is a like the head of a hospital as the head nurse, so sure they have that, and but like for Punisher, I don't know what they could do unless he accidentally shoots him.
There's 1,000 stories of Spider-Man.
With the rest of like,
but it's crazy, right? Because the Hulk is involved with this movie.
That's the one. Yeah,
is the Hulk actually involved?
Is it this Hulk or a different Hulk?
I've never seen any trade.
The director, what is it? The director of cinematography or whatever. I forgot the role is. That's involved with the Spider-Man 4 movie. He has a Pinterest or whatever, and it's like him posting like art of Spider-Man and the Hulk and stuff. I was like, okay, and like he's deep.
My thing with the whole Pinterest thing is, just because the Hulk's in it doesn't mean the Hulk's in the movie. It could just be taking references for the poses Spider-Man's doing.
Maybe.
Right? Like, until Ruffalo's actually confirmed to be in this movie, I ain't buying it.
I would say if it's either that or like the only other like technically like you could put his Cho if they wanted to. So
he was supposed to show up in one of the other projects, but they decided to pull back.
Amadeus Cho. He got clumped into the Hulk universe because technically he was Hulk for a little bit and then changed to something else.
That would honestly make sense, because did you guys see the synopsis that they released for Spider-Man like a week ago? It mentions that Peter's in college now. So if Amadeus was there experimenting at the same college and he became Hulk, that could honestly work. So maybe the trades got it wrong. What if it's not Ruffalo?
Because I saw the thing where it was like, it's like something from Peter's past. And I was like, okay, Scorpion. That's a given.
Right.
So everything else, I was like, does Frank Castle escape from the cops? And he was like, bro, I'm tired of Daredevil, and he shoots Peter by accident. He was like, everything looks the same.
What if it's not Ruffalo or Cho and it's actually Scar from She-Hulk?
No, brother. Wait,
Oh,
no.
Ain't nobody wants that. Not even
don't
us
ruin,
here want
don't
that.
ruin
Come on.
Spider-Man 4 before it came out, man.
Is it the only other
But he's
other thing
college
that-
age, right? Like,
Is
you
it like the
know.
only other thing I can
Yeah.
think of that came from Peter's past that isn't directly from his past is Cindy. That's the only other thing.
See, you know it's bad when Shokardo is saying no. Come on.
right? Like,
Yeah, but he'll get paid in when it comes out, and he'll flip.
True.
oh man, it's gonna pay all my rent, my bills. Oh, Disney.
9 out of 10.
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Somebody's
No
gonna
Bluetooth
clip this
required.
Are you serious? Because they're gonna pay your bills and not just give you Disney bucks to where you just get free admittance to one of the theme parks. That's it.
Go
Oh,
wait
man.
6 hours.
If Disney gives me like tickets for parks, bro, every movie is getting perfect scores. Every movie.
You heard it here first.
You can't
look,
even say he's cheap because those tickets are
I'm
expensive.
gonna say I'll sell out if they give me every free stuff known to man. I don't care. I don't care. If it benefits me, I don't care. Think I care? No.
Thank you for listening to this
Okay.
podcast brought to you by the Winnie the Pooh scope.
Next, one of these podcasts, you're just gonna see Ricardo eating the giant turkey leg just because he took.
Right, watch when I come, bro. When I come with the Mickey Mouse ears next podcast, oh my god, it's gonna be crazy.
Oh,
Oh
that-
man,
that's what I'm actually. That's actually part of the Spider-Man 4 that I'm most excited for. How they're going to integrate PG Punisher into this film.
Well, it's PG.
it'll be
It's
PG-13.
PG-13.
It is
You
PG-13.
could,
Yeah.
there's stuff you could do. Here's the thing, because we got like a lot of the best action scenes come from like Winter
Yeah.
Soldier. We just had Thunderbolt.
True.
You can still get away with a lot of stuff. You can get
Yeah,
away
it's
with
just-
blood.
The last Spider-Man movie had Aunt May blown up by a grenade. We'll be fine.
True.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
like he can use explosives. It's not that hard.
Like the only thing, if he says like, if he curses, he gets one F-bomb. That's fine. If he
You actually
kills-
get two.
Oh, they upped it.
Ooh.
With PG-13, you get one if it's in like a sexual sense.
Oh.
You get two if it's not.
All right, see,
So,
Punisher's
so like
getting both.
Guardians 3, when Peter says,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube, they could have actually had one more.
Huh.
It's just throwing out there, so you can have two.
Because then here's the thing, and then if they go around this route, right? Depending on who's the enemies in Spider-Man 4, if we're getting blood, it's not stopping them from having alien blood because they could go as gross as they want, and that doesn't have to be rated R.
True.
If they're fighting the Hulk, we could get all the green blood known to man. It wouldn't even matter. They don't have to make it rated R. There's a lot of stuff you could get away with.
If the villain
Also,
ends up,
if
if it's Mr. Negative, then you can get
Yeah,
away
yeah.
with a vision. Ooh, visions of shadows. Unload bullets into them.
Also, if we get in like a scorpion, he could have like a laser tail. Guess what? Punisher could just pick up.
Yeah.
Just give him a laser gun. It's fine.
Peter's going to tell him to use
explosives-
rubber bullets.
Yeah, explosives.
You'll
would be
have
bad.
web bullets sorted. Like,
Oh. Yeah.
But who makes the armor? Alistair
No,
Smith?
Well, it
Yeah,
wouldn't be
why
web
not?
bullets. It'd be impact webbing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I don't know.
You're
This
stealing,
film,
you're stealing bad stuff. You're stealing bad stuff. I was like, technically, he's Peter, so he wouldn't be stealing.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces with this film that genuinely have me really excited. I'm like, I want to know a lot more about this film. It sounds
Well, everyone wants to know
intriguing.
about it because it's like is this like a Granite Street level thing or is this multiverse? Because
I think it's safe to say it's more grounded.
It's grounded
100%,
because
yeah.
it takes place before Doomsday even starts. So the
That's
fact that they did this announcement way ahead of time before the script for Spider-Man 4 even released, I think it
Yep.
helps a lot.
It's not
So-
the Doctor
yeah.
Strange Spider-Man scenario where they had to swap entire first
so-
act and third act
so-
for each
so-
film. Like,
So Feige got through to them, or they had to
So-
fight tooth and nail.
I mean, I'm still guessing this film ends with a multiverse thing happening.
Yeah, they have
you
to.
know?
It's like the second.
Yeah, I
it's like
can
the
see
last
it.
film.
Yeah. It's the two Spider-Men are show up being like, "We need you." There's the secret war happening.
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
be RDJ. It'll be RDJ showing up.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my, he'll be like,
so-
Peter, I need your help with the Doom armor. Oh
No,
no.
like Tony? Yeah, I'm Tony. Yeah, sure. I need
Mr.
help.
Stark,
He's
you're
got an
right.
Iron Doom spider suit for
Yeah.
him. Just like, here you go, kid.
Do you
What-
want me to
the
go get
superior-
Riri?
What
No,
was it?
she's
The
too
superior?
old.
Was it the superior Spider-Man suit?
Yes,
Ooh.
yes.
I can
Don't
hear
promise me a good
Jared in
time.
the. I can hear Jared from the future screeching in the
Screaming.
theater. If that
It's not the correct one.
happens. You
It's not
will
fair.
be. Listen, kid, you are now a superior Spider-Man. Hands him the suit. Oh.
But now it makes me wonder, right? Because Ned and MJ's in this film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they were nice.
it's like, why? Like, how big is their roles? It seems like they're gonna have big roles because you just don't mention them and be like, oh, they're coming back into the movie. I kind of don't want.
They're probably pretty big because they made the announcement though like MJ and Ned are coming back for Spider-Man 4. So just wondered what they.
Hopefully, they're only in the first 5 minutes and he's stalking them, and that's it.
Yeah.
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 Maybe Ned gets deported. No.
Oh!
MJ as well.
No, Ned looks at the Hobgoblin suit next time.
Next time, baby.
Yeah. And I like to assume that MCU's MJ would probably do the whole alias thing of like, oh, my name is Mary Jane.
Jackpot?
If she becomes,
Uh-huh.
yeah, she becomes
don't-
like, no,
Please
not
don't say
Jackpot.
Jack. I'm tired of that. I'm seriously, I'm tired of that.
I'm tired of Jackpot.
Jackpot.
Yeah.
Because so the fact that Zendaya is literally a real life model, they could literally just throw the exact same thing for the character in the MCU and be like, "This is my alias." Then when she comes back home, she just chills. She wants to be a regular person.
Right.
You know, she really
They're gonna
has
make
an-
people really depressed by showing the pair of them having their best lives without them. No.
Yeah.
I think he'll interact with MJ again because the fact that in the last film
Yeah,
she
but he'll be
has that
creepy
feeling
about
that they
it.
know each other.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
No,
Just
but
like
they
the
have
end of
feeling.
No Way Home, it's really creepy.
No,
It's
chill.
like-
He got coffee. She was like, "Oh my
It's
god,
creepy.
what is this
It's
necklace?" You don't
He's
remember?
just gonna
Not
like
chill.
look at her, being like, "I follow you on Starkgram." What?
No.
Just runs
No,
away.
that's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That's the stalker.
No.
No, they're
That's
gonna
true, though.
take what the writer for the writer for Spectacular Spider-Man did for his comic run where he goes to a coffee shop and asks for Peter and like they don't know what the hell Peter
Hey
is.
yo, we mean the
yeah.
Peter.
Yeah, that's it. If you read, if
So
you
they
read
erased Peter, like the entire name of Peter from existence. Like,
it's from what it is that if you read Spectacular Spider-Man, they go to a coffee shop and they want to be regulars, and he tries to make a Peter a coffee drink a thing by ordering it and keep calling it a Peter, and people are like, "That's not a thing. What's Peter?"
yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Creepy out.
Perfectly creepy enough to be Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I fear.
It's even to the point to where it's like, how'd you even order your coffee? He's talking that to Miles. He goes, "I used the app." Like,
So why would you call the coffee a Peter?
because the whole premise is that he wants to be a regular to where everyone starts ordering Peter. I forgot what Peter's preferred coffee. I think he had like I think it was like milk and had some cinnamon.
He's so
in it.
full of himself. Listen to him. What Peter? What a jerk.
I'm saying, just
Like,
like
he
if you want to become a
can't
regular,
just
just go
actually-
get coffee. No?
Yeah, just actually get the
But, yeah,
usual.
that's essentially what it was.
Right, the
No, that's
Peter?
essentially what
Nah,
what
bro.
it was. But like he wanted the drink to be like a thing, and like Miles
I
was
would've-
like,
No,
Oh,
I
Jim
would
Miles
have
was like, no one does
trying
that.
to force it.
I
I
would've
tell
called
you.
it
yeah,
out.
that's
I was like, this
the
guy's
whole
asking for the
premise. He's
Peter.
forcing it, and it's like it's that, and the whole thing about when I just ordered from the app, and he goes, "Because you won't be regular, they won't know you." And I was like, "I just wanted coffee, so I just ordered from the app."
Oh man.
Peter's a freak. That's why Mars is better.
Well, I suppose that's sort of bringing us to the end of that whole discussion. So we'll see where things go with all the characters. So we are at the end of the show. Any I don't know, bonus housekeeping we got to touch upon, or
Since we are that people, so we don't talk about comics enough. If
What
you guys,
comics?
yeah. Oh no, there is. It's
don't mention the Gwen moment, please.
Why? I need to. I need to.
Bro.
Tristan, you don't need to run that.
No, I do.
Right.
Why?
If we're going to talk about this, I need
It's
to
like one
explain
of the
to me.
worst.
Is
comic
Gwen in a position now where she never died?
Yeah, she rewrote history.
It's
Oh, fuck that.
it's gonna be
Oh,
a
you
thing in the sequel series because they leave it off on a cliffhanger because it's not stated anywhere that 65 Gwen and oddly enough, 616 Gwen are talking to each other in this mindscape thing, saying that you have this cosmic cube, you can do mostly anything within reason, and mostly anything. Yeah, if there are some rules, mostly within reason, and so. She got rid of everything that made her for some reason in 6-5. Basically, she gave up her symbiote and all the other things that made her and transferred over to the 616, where she brought over Captain Stacy. So he didn't technically. We need to know if he's
just completely rewritten out the whole the whole Stacy death thing. Wow.
Technically, because we need because they need a hook for the sequel series that's coming out in August, and she has her original spider powers back. And if you saw solicitations, somehow her symbiote suit came back and now is pissed off at her.
Marvel is creatively bankrupt. That's it.
Like the ramifications of Peter's, because if they're doing this, the ramifications of Peter's story involving Gwen, kind of like you have to really rewrite history with the whole Peter thing. You can't just like brush that away.
Right.
I know that's the whole
down to the Jackal, and no one likes Jackal.
That's the whole crux of this is that it's going to be supposedly answered in the sequel series because there's a lot of stuff that you need to unpack with the Jackal, with what they did with Gwen Stacy, the first Gwen Stacy, the original. Because apparently, if you read Gwenpool, they brought her back and somehow reprogrammed her, and she knew everything and hated Peter because she knows he killed her, even if it was an accident. So they got that to unpack, and it's just all over the place just because Gwen from 6'5" sells stuff.
Death to the West, I tell you that.
And the current writer, bless her heart, but she cannot write.
So here's the thing: Gwen from the multiverse sells, right?
Yes.
But if you actually try reading that, you can get through the first arc, maybe, and anything after that is actual garbage.
And the can of worms, and that is partially because Marvel did not want Sony using any of the newly created characters in her universe. The reason, because people go, well, why does Miles escape that? Well, Miles makes money, so they're not going to ruin that. So he gets to do whatever the hell he wants to do. But for Gwen, no, Marvel's like, we don't want you, so you're just gonna rehash things and keep it going because she sells. That's the only reason. So
that's insane.
I only read the Ultimate Universe. I don't got time for this nonsense.
I don't read none of that.
I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. Yeah. Surprise!
I read Dawn to Dawn, and that's
so surprise. It's ending. The whole line is ending by issue 24. So that's when.
But aren't they relaunching it after that?
They're probably going to relaunch it because, from what Hickman has said, it was only going to be a 2-year thing to bring back the Maker. So
another Ultimates #1,
probably. Yeah, so they're probably going to do volumes.
I don't hate the idea of having shorter number runs. I don't.
Yeah, so basically they're trying to do like arc volumes. So like the beginning be a volume 1, 24 issues. Volume 2 would be something different, which would keep interest in people because you don't have to, if they do it correctly, they don't have to say, oh, you need to read this. Oh, you just want to read this particular run for the Ultimate Universe, 24 issues across all the other books. There you go. If you just want to read that, you can just read that.
Yeah, because if you look at how they're doing the X-Men and how spoilers for like Ultimate Wolverine, he just got out of like not being the Winter Soldier, so like they don't even have like an established X-Men. He's a part of the opposition. I was okay, bro.
The last time I cared about X-Men was when they did the whole thing with Moira and her multiverse thing and the rebirth and Krakoa, and I quit after that. I was like,
because the reason for like what Ricardo was talking about, there's no established X-Men because Pichimoko's run in Ultimate X-Men, the Japan area, they're just waking up to the notion that there are mutants in the whole thing. So yeah, They're doing all of them are doing their own thing. So, yep. Well, it's just how comics are right now. It's a mess. Because
so what you're saying is stop Dan Slott from making Spider-Verse.
Well, here's the thing. All the whole line for Marvel, which is like close to 100 ongoings or so, they're all new within a year. There is only one comic that has lasted this long. It has lasted
Miles.
30 plus. Yep, Miles is the only one that's lasted 30 plus issues so far. He's the longest running after, I think, the Fantastic Four. The last version volume of Fantastic Four ended in April, and then Spider-Man for Amazing Spider-Man or last ones. But now currently Miles is the only one that's still good, but has lasted the longest with going to like 40 issues now. So,
man, wild. It's at some point every like month I see something that catches my eye from Marvel and DC. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna get back in, and then I just wait 2 days after that thing is released. I'm like, thank God I didn't.
Which is really odd because apparently the Absolute line is doing very good. Apparently,
I hear so, but does this have Batwang? I don't think so. Can't be as good as that. Can't be as good as him.
Well, they're gonna bring in Absolute Bane in now, so they're gonna
make him bigger than Batman.
Yeah, no, they did. They showed off. They showed off. They showed off.
He's like 8 foot tall or something.
Like
It's basically they made him look like a Hulk.
Yeah, they did.
I'll be honest.
His head is so tiny.
Yeah,
he looks really.
His head's tiny though. It's freaky.
It is tiny, but it's fine.
Like his traps are like the size of normal Bane. So you're like, oh my God, he's like double with Bane. What is this?
Bane former. There you go.
Traps like Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's his origin story. That's what happened. Too much Venom, man.
Benoit couldn't even turn his neck. He had to like move his whole body.
Well, if you want to go into the wrestler aspect, I know people haven't noticed, but the new Street Fighter movie is having a lot of wrestlers show up. And 50 Cent for some reason.
Oh, this movie's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, like
they also cast M. Bison. I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
it's Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, I think it was. I think was it 50 Cent is gonna be Balrog.
I am gonna watch this movie and double dose of adult gummies. And
I think it's not confirmed yet, but it's a foregone conclusion. But Cody Rhodes, he's gonna be Guile.
Roman Reigns is Akuma, 10 out of 10.
Oh my God.
Like,
this is gonna be wild.
Yeah, this movie's gonna be. I can't believe we're getting a movie just as bad as Jean-Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter.
I can believe it. I can believe it.
Yeah,
I know the
fighting game.
I'm forgetting the actor or actress, but they did get their Chung-Li, but I forgot who.
Yeah.
I saw that.
The thing with this film, at least what was charming about the Jean-Claude one is, for a fact, because he's admitted it, he was on coke during the entire production of the film, and you can tell because like he turns his head and he's like, you're like, oh boy, we're getting a performance in this one.
Like all this is happening just because of certain video game adaptations are good. It's basically, since Sonic did good, now everyone else is doing it, because you can also see that Sega themselves are good. We're going to get a Streets of Rage movie.
Oh yeah.
And then a couple other ones as well. But this is that. And
give me Golden Axe, Sega, you cow.
And but that, and since I think like Street Fighter 6 is very popular, they're trying to capitalize on that, because they did Street Fighter like 3 or 4 times already, and they all were just in the gutter. So they're trying this time with well-known.
It's gonna be in the gutter again.
They're trying their best with well-known wrestlers this time. So
yeah, well, I suppose that's actually going to bring us to the end of the show, everybody. So we, of course, will be continuing a little bit more in regards to topics over for the members. So hopefully we see you there, and hopefully next week is eventful for another podcast. Later.
It won't be.
Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.